Hey everybody, so I just got my air pruning trays from Amazon. Got to be honest, the box doesn't look like it's holding 5 trays in it, but I guess we're going to find out. Now I can't really open this up while one hand is holding up my cell phone and the other is holding up a knife so I can open this up. So I'm going to pause it for 1 second. All right, so I have opened it up. Oh yeah, this looks nice. I hope everything is okay. Oh yeah, it's got 5 in here. Okay. Oh, it's warm. The temperature outside is pretty hot, so this is nice and warm. And this is one of my air pruning trays. Wow, looks absolutely beautiful. Look at that. It's got the holes on the bottom. Let me just get rid of the wrapping paper here. Hold on, I got so much crap over here. Let's see. Oh yeah, see, now for those of you who are not into gardening, this tray has slits in it. Now, I don't know if you can see the slits. Let me see. I'll zoom it in here. If you'll notice carefully, there's like a little slit. Oh, that was too much. Sorry, my bad. See that slit going up and down? Right here. There's a slit going from the bottom to the top. Those slits and this hole is what makes these unique. These are air pruning. Look, so you can see the slit going from the top to the bottom, top to the bottom, and then you got a big hole over here. So what that does is it air prunes each plant or seedling, I guess you would say, each seedling, so that the roots are much more healthier and stronger. That's the whole point behind the air pruning trays. Unfortunately, I could not buy just one. Here in Canada, the distributor, which is Bootstrap Farmer, or the manufacturer, Bootstrap Farmer, they only offer it in packages of 5. So I got 4 more in here, which I'm going to have to inspect to make sure that everything was okay. So I'm going to pause this for a second. Just want to make sure that my order is all right. Hold on a second. All right. So I've opened it up. The box is over there. Hey, Bruno. The box is over there. The wrapping's over there. But here we go. I got it in a pack of 5 because that's literally all they offered. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4 of them here, plus this one. That's 5. I am so looking forward to using these air pruning trays. For those of you who don't know, I was using the soil blockers previously. I'm going to bring those bad boys out right now. Just hang on a second. So I have now brought out my soil blockers. As you can see, I got like the 2 by 2 inches. Off the top of my head, I don't know the size of this one, but this one is the micro size one. It's for like small vegetables that you're growing from seed. For those of you who don't know how the soil blockers work, it's relatively simple. You just basically get your soil in a nice container, and what you do is you mash this down into your soil, and then what you do, the soil will get filled up into these empty chambers here, okay? And it'll get filled up into the empty chambers, and then all you do is with the handle, you're gonna once the chambers are full of the soil of your choice, all you do is you squeeze down on this. Oh, here we go. Squeeze it, and what it does, I don't know if you can see me. Sorry, I'm one-handed here. So when I push it down like this, Do you see how those little steel borders come up to the surface? It pushes out the soil blocks. So see here I let go. So ordinarily you would put, it's hard to do this with one hand. Okay, hold on. So each individual square here, like if you look in here, this would be full of soil, soil, soil. Like each one of these squares would have soil in it, because if you've got soil over here, you're literally just mashing that soil into these receptacles. And then all you do is you just push this down, and then this will, look at this, ready? See that? See how it, like, it's at the bottom, then it pushes them out. So what you would have here is like a row of little soil cubes. Same concept with this one. This is my 2" by 2". So these receptacles here, they would get filled with soil. So if I had like a tray of soil here, I would literally just mash this down into the soil, and the soil would get into here. These would be soil cubes. And then what you do is you just squeeze down on the handle like so. See that? And it pushes the soil out, those soil blocks. Now you're probably wondering, what's up with those black things? Those black little divots right there, what they are is like an opening, so you can put your seeds into that opening. You'll get like an open thing of soil. So look at this, ready? Now imagine I mashed the soil into these, and then I squeeze the handle, and it pushes the soil out. Now here is a dried up soil block that I made using this soil blocker. Now this is pretty hard because it's all the water has been evaporated, but as you can see, this is where the plant was, because there's still some dried up, it's dried up and crusty. It's flaky. But that came out of the bottom of this. Now when I pressed it, the soil was moist and soft. And it was moist and soft. You have to water the soil blocks, but this has been sitting in a bin for quite some time. This is as hard as a rock. You can hear that. And it's starting to crust up a little bit on my counter here, and the missus is not going to be happy about it, but whatever. So the idea is, when a seedling is growing, because it's not in a conventional tray, the roots will come out to the edge of the soil block, and once it hits the oxygen, it'll stop growing, and all the energy from the seedling will go into producing other roots. This is the benefit of doing a soil block type of thing, where it's like the roots they become smart. The plant is smart. It'll say, okay, well, I reached the edge of the soil block here. I'm not going to put my energy in this root anymore, but this root doesn't die. It'll make another root, and the other root might grow up over here. It might grow over here on this side. It might grow down lower over here. So what you're going to have is basically a plant, a shrub, or a tree, seedling, or sapling that has more roots that are evenly distributed here, 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 here. Like, it'll find a way. And when you plant it into the ground, you will have a much more healthier plant, shrub, or tree. So, what's the idea behind the trays? Same concept with the roots, only this has some structure to it. Now with this, with the soil block, it could technically fall apart in your tray. So when you're making this, or after you've made it and you put your seedling into it, let's say you've got your tray, your watering tray, right? Like you got, let's say, 10 of these bad boys here, right? Like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So when you water it, you have to be very careful, because if you're not careful, you could damage the integrity of the soil block, and it can fall apart and your seedling will die. Whereas with the new trays that I got, the air pruning trays, there's structure. There is literally a wall to hold it, but at the same time, these walls, they have those slits on the side. So it's still going to air prune. It just keeps the soil block intact. And the beautiful thing about the air pruning trays, this is why I bought them, is because when they're grown and ready to be transplanted into the earth, all you got to do is just put your finger in the hole, pop it out. Good to go. And these are air pruned roots, so it's much more healthier and stronger than as opposed to those traditional trays that you get from Walmart or from any nursery. So this was definitely costly. This cost me a pretty penny. I forget off the top of my head. I think it was like $120, $140, something along those lines. But it's only because they only sold, Amazon Canada only sold it in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pack. I had to get 5 of these bad boys, which is fine. I'm not complaining. But these things are strong, they're sturdy, they're built to last. Nothing wrong with the soil blockers. As you can see, they make perfectly good soil blocks. The only reason I went this route is because there's some structure. You know, the plastic walls here, it's not going to fall apart when I'm watering it. With this one, with the soil blockers, you got to be careful. I'm not saying you can't do it. Obviously, the tools exist because you can do it. And here is one of my soil blocks that I made, but you got to be careful when you're watering it. If you water a soil block on the top, when they're moist, this will crumble. It'll crumble from like the top, and then your seedling in here will just, you know, die. So you have to be very careful with your watering. That's the only thing that turned me off from these soil blockers. Whereas with this, I can fill this up with soil. It's got the slits down the side, and it's got the big opening at the bottom. I know my roots are going to get air pruned, and guess what? I got the plastic walls to keep everything intact. It won't crumble and fall apart. Whereas if I had this in a tray and I start watering, it could literally just fall apart, and I'll have like bits of soil crumbling all around here, and it's like, oh, you got to be very careful. You're walking on eggshells as far as I'm concerned with the soil blockers. The air pruning trays by Bootstrap Farmer, absolutely recommend them. Get them. Seriously, get them. And if you are in a good position to buy only 2 of them, like I had to buy 5 because Amazon Canada only offered them in packs of 5. If I were you, I'd only get 2. And I'll tell you why. Because see how they stack on top of one another? Right? Like I got 5 in here. Let me see if I can take it out with one hand. Okay. So let's say, here I go. I got 1 now in my hand. Let's say you put soil in this one, right? Right here, yeah? Then you can take this empty one and just pat it down. You know what I mean? It's hard to do with one hand. But you could literally push the soil down in each one, and then that soil in all those trays, it'll be pushed down, it'll be compacted, and then you'll be able to put your seeds into the holes, and you could put like another layer of soil, so that way, you know, everything is nice and tight, plus you got your seeds in there and the soil on top. And I love the fact that there's structure. You know, it's not going to crumble and fall apart. You know, the soil blocks, you got to be careful with that. So anyways, that's my unboxing, and I'm very happy that I got these. I'm so happy. Can't wait to share this or use it anyways. I've shared it already with you guys. You guys are watching it. And these are my soil blocks. Nothing wrong with soil blocks. They were my first entry into air pruning your plants, shrubs, and trees, but I really do like the structure that the trays, the air pruning trays offer. I don't have to worry that they're going to crumble and fall apart, you know, out in the open. Whereas this, if you are not careful, you just got to be careful. That's all it is. If you're not careful with the soil block, they will break down. The soil will fall apart because it's soil, it's soft soil, and it'll just crumble apart. And the seedling that's in the middle, with all the soil that's like falling off there, if you're not careful, it'll die. It'll die. And that defeats the purpose. So, Bootstrap Farmer, love what I'm seeing. Can't wait to use it. This is a very sturdy product. I am so happy. I genuinely wish that I had learned about these before I bought those.